Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Chat EbT. I'm your host, Ebrahim Tayob. My guest today is a young innovator that's transforming access to education across Africa with just a simple idea. Please help me in welcoming the CIO of MiDesk Global, Talita Boodhram.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, Talita, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, it's such an honor to be here and share a little bit about the work that I do. I'm very excited.
No, we very excited to hear about it. So obviously, like I said, we're here today to talk about your brilliant innovative product and company, MiDesk Global. We'll get into the product in just a bit.
Yeah.
But before we do that, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm the Chief Impact Officer at MiDesk Global, where it actually began as my science project when I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
I'm currently 25 years old. I do this full time, reaching kids in need throughout the world, and I'm actually also completing my master's at the London School of Economics.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Thank you.
So, when you mentioned it to me the first time, that was such a mind-blowing idea at the time, right?
Thank
A
you.
school project that then turned into your company, right? But take us a little bit back. What was the school project? I'm very curious about that.
So when I was 16, we had a science fair.
Mhm.
And so if you take physics or biology, you usually have to do the science project as part of the curriculum.
Okay.
And so the one day, my dad and I were watching the news, and we saw a segment on children that didn't have desks at school. So they were sitting underneath a tree and writing on their laps, and it got us talking. We said, if they don't have desks at school, they definitely have no homework space at home.
Mhm.
So we said, what if they could have something portable that they could use at home and at school, and it would solve this problem? So we went into the kitchen and we made the first MiDesk out of cat litter boxes and toy spade handles that we put together. I cut up an old bag flap. It was the first time I'd used power tools, actually, under my dad's strict supervision. And that was the first prototype. So I presented it at the science fair. It won gold there.
Oh, okay.
And so the research is that there are 3 million children in South Africa alone that do not have a desk at school, 95 million children in Africa, and over 400 million children around the globe that do not have a desk at school. And these are stats according to UNESCO. So by them not having a desk, it affects their handwriting, it affects their focus, their concentration, their homework delivery, and their overall academic ability. It's also very compromising of a child's dignity, especially a girl child, when they're expected to sit in compromising positions for their whole school day. They then go home and have no homework space to write on, let alone electricity to see their homework at night. So that was the initial idea behind it. But then, as all school projects, they end up in the garage or in the shed when you're done with it, or even in the trash sometimes. My mom, who has been an entrepreneur for the past 25 years, since I was born actually, saw the potential in it. She saw the impact it could have on a child's life. So she added the wheelie aspect, and she added the solar light that it comes with. She got it in alignment with 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals in accordance with the 2030 Agenda. She patented it and got it out there. In the meantime, I had gone off to study at the University of Cape Town, where I did my undergrad and honors. And when I completed that, I had come back home and joined her, and we've since impacted over 5,300 kids with the MiDesk so far, with a goal to impact 1 million kids by 2030.
Oh, that's amazing. Such a wonderful idea, and like you said, right? Most of the time, the school projects, they either end up in the bin or in the garage, and you see them 10 years later.
Yeah.
So take us back to that conversation, right? How did this happen, where your mom approached you and said, you know what, I think this is something. Let's make this into something.
It was never really a conversation. I was 16 at the time, and to be honest, if you had to see me at 16, I actually have a photo of me testing out the first prototype. And if I knew that photo was going to be used many years later, I would have actually brushed my hair and worn better clothing, because it's quite a horrible photo. You don't even recognize that it's me. But I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was just doing my science project to the best of its ability, to get good results. I was very focused in school, and I really wanted to give it my best shot. And my mom then, she was actually like cooking in the kitchen while my dad and I were busy making this prototype, and I was like, oh, I need a name for this. And then my dad said MiDesk, MYDESK, and my mom said no, make it original, make it individual, MIDESK. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, like let's do that. And
Brilliant.
then after I'd won gold at the science fair, my parents had a conversation, and they said, you know, this could really, really impact a child's life. My mom was someone who used the street lamp to study at night.
Oh, wow.
My parents don't come from very privileged backgrounds. They've had to work very hard for everything that they've had. And knowing that, knowing what a child would go through and empathizing with that, they saw the potential in it. And they've also brought my brother and I up to empathize, to think further than our situations, and to know how privileged we were to have this great education, to have these resources and have these opportunities. So that's why I think the mindset has always been to make it better for the people who don't have the same opportunities or resources that we have had the privilege to have. So that's essentially, it was a very natural road. It was a very difficult path to get this to the kids, but my parents had to bootstrap and get it off the ground, but we did it, and it's out there, and it's children are actually sitting at it and doing their homework and inspired by the fact that this was someone else's homework that they are now using.
Oh, but it's actually such a phenomenal concept there. And I agree with you. It's something that we completely take for granted.
Yes.
You know, we go to school every single day, so many years.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I don't think I at once ever thought, hey, I actually have a desk.
Yes.
In all honesty, there were probably times where I was like, oh man, this desk is too small. Or this
Yeah.
desk is
or
awful.
I have to share with someone else.
Yeah,
or
100%. And
Yeah.
it just shows us that things like that, we don't even consider, things that
Yes.
we don't consider,
Yes.
are actually the world to other people. And I think
Exactly.
what you guys are doing is so phenomenal because it actually reminds us of that.
Yes, thank you. And you know, to see, so we often have these handovers where we go out and we physically give each child their MiDesk. And so I open it up and I show them how it works. And their reactions to seeing this transform from a school bag into a desk and chair is the most priceless thing. I mean, it makes my world turn around because
No, I can
just
imagine.
seeing a child's awe, and they're so excited, and they don't have to be grateful. This is a basic necessity, but they are so grateful. They are so joyful when they receive it, and often it's the first gift a child has received in their whole schooling career and their whole life. And so they really look after it. They really nurture it. And I actually went to a child's home to see how they were utilizing the MiDesk. And it was so sweet to see that there were 5 siblings being looked after by the grandmother, and they were actually rotating their
wow.
turns to use the MiDesk because the one child had received it, and so the rest of the siblings were taking their turns to do their homework. And
that's
it was
amazing.
it's so amazing to see that, you know, all the hard work that's gone into it, and the hard work that continues to go into it to get it to the kids, because we work with a lot of organizations and corporates, and it's a lot of convincing, a lot of logistics, a lot of effort to get it there. It just makes it so worth it. It is the most precious experience to see a child receive their MiDesk.
No, I can imagine. And like going back to that point, I think it's something that we just overlook so much.
Yes,
You know, place to do
definitely.
our homework. I think most of us just complained about having to do homework.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
it was never ever consideration is that, hey, we actually have a place to do homework. Hey, we
Yeah,
have lights. As
exactly.
you mentioned, your mom used a street light, and I think
Yeah.
it's something that we so overlook all
Yes.
the time. No, that's quite, I mean, amazing, like you said. It looks like an amazing product.
Thank
I
you.
think actually, I know you wanted to demonstrate for us. So before we get to you showing us how this works, so essentially this is a desk as well as a chair as well as a backpack.
Yes.
Wow, that's and phenomenal. So the kids
Thank
get to actually carry this to school every day.
Yes, and it's also got the 12-year lifespan, where a child can use it in any of its forms for their entire schooling career.
Wow.
It's specifically designed for a child in a rural terrain where the wheels have been specifically designed for gravel roads. It's water resistant, so it protects their contents. The chair can hold up to 180 kilograms in weight, so that we make sure that an adult can sit comfortably at it. And we've actually had basketball players test it out and sit at it and sit quite comfortably at it. So yeah, they can use it in any of its forms for their entire schooling career, both at home and at school. And you know, we give it to the kids, but we don't dictate how they should use it. If they feel that it's best left at home, fold it up, and then they unfold it to do their homework, or they can wheel it outside and do their homework underneath a tree. If that works for them, that's perfect. If they want to take it daily to school, it really depends on the school, the parents, the students, on how they want to utilize it best.
So, I mean, I'm very, very interested. I know you brought this product here to show us how it works. So I'm very, very interested. So I think let's have a look at that right now.
So this is the MiDesk. It has the 12-year lifespan, allowing a child to use it both at home and at school.
Okay.
For their entire schooling career in any of its forms. So you simply unclick the sides. As you've seen, it can be wheeled, so it's specifically designed for a child with walking on gravel road, on mud, or any rural sort of terrain. So you simply unclick it, and then you can use it as a backpack as well.
Okay, that's brilliant.
So the backpack weighs 2.4 kilos, so you can actually feel the weight. There we go. So it's
amazing.
actually quite lightweight for a 7-year-old to easily handle, but also an adult as well. So I'm going to actually show you. This is where their school books go on either side.
Okay.
There we go. And then, let me just pull this back. So it's got 2 levels. The first level works for the younger kids, but can also be a lap desk. So if a child is sitting on a couch or on a bed, they can simply flip it over and sit with it.
Okay.
And it also works for the younger kids. And as they start getting a little bit older and a little bit taller, you take these leg extensions out and you slot them in. All good. Super easy. You slot them in like that. There we go. Set it up in the classroom and at home. Or if they would like to sit underneath a tree and do their homework on a hot day, then they have it. So you can still access your books while it's unfolded. And the chair holds up to 180 kilograms in weight, as I've mentioned. It's got additional storage in it as well. And it also comes with the solar light. The solar light has about 3 settings, like this. And they can do their homework at night, anywhere and any time. And that's simply your MiDesk.
That's brilliant. I love that. No.
Thank you.
Excellent. But no, I think this is such an amazing concept. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much.
I love the fact that, as you mentioned, it started out from a school project, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. All right. So one of the things that we discuss a lot on this podcast is around mindset, and especially people that are venturing into their careers, right? Now, as you mentioned, you went and did your undergrad study and your postgraduate study, and then you came back and you joined MiDesk, right? Go back to that time and tell us about your mindset around then. Yes. Was it always your goal to come back and join this company, or was there a goal to maybe go into corporate? And what influenced your decision when you were at that crossroad?
So I think growing up in a family where my mom was an entrepreneur my whole life, I had always admired her growing up. You know, I would go to her office after school quite often. I would watch her in her like heels and dressed up prim and proper absolutely every day. And her hair was always done and her nails were always done. And I look at myself now and I'm like, oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I followed that path quite well and I love it. And so, like, I think entrepreneurship actually came very naturally to me. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't plan for it. I actually wanted to become a doctor my whole life and pursued it to no end. And I think I was very much guided. I had good intentions, and the MiDesk was happening. I was volunteering at it during COVID. the lockdown, I had actually gone back home
Mhm.
because I was at UCT. And during that time, I had actually been involved in the initial stages of prototyping and molding and getting it off the ground and the initial, conversations.
So essentially, you just never left the product, really.
Yes, I never left it, but I also had no plan for myself.
Mhm.
Initially, it was, this is something that's going to do good for kids, and that's amazing. But I was just so steadfast on becoming this doctor, and when I thought about it, I actually wanted to be a doctor to make quality healthcare affordable to people
Brilliant.
who couldn't afford it. And I realized it wasn't actually the actual act of being a doctor that I wanted to be. It was more making a difference and helping those who do not have the means to help themselves.
Yeah.
And so when the whole med school thing was not working out, and I had really pursued it, I had come back. I joined the family, MiDesk Global Family Company, and I fell in love with it. And slowly, I got to interact with the kids, and I realized that that was what made me feel good. That was what made my heart glow. My most favorite time is to be in a deep rural school, and you can just leave me there for forever. I'm just so happy when I am in those spaces, and I've realized that I found my purpose, and I found what makes me genuinely happy to my core.
Yeah.
So it was never a plan. It just sort of naturally happened, and I think it was very guided from above, because I do believe that a closed door is a sign, and
Yeah.
if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and if it's not working out, then it's definitely not meant to be. And there's so many other opportunities out there, and yeah, and I've been working at MiDesk now for 3 years, helping it grow, helping it develop, and I've just absolutely enjoyed every bit of it. I mean, I get to interact with the kids. I get to meet the most interesting people from around the world. I get to wear my heels and dress up like my mom did. And I get to work with my mom, which not many people get to do. And it's so incredibly special because I get to learn from her. I'm inspired by her every day, just as I was as a little kid. She teaches me so much, and I think that having that bond, not only as mother and daughter, but as people who work together in the entrepreneurship world, is so special. And knowing that she has my back and I have hers, and we often say that we're the only. She often jokes that I'm the only person she never wanted to fire. So we get each other, and I think we work really well together. And she's genuinely my best friend, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be so inspired by her every day.
That's honestly amazing. And apart from the aspect of working with the family, which you can see you really love, but I think the passion for the product itself is, and funny enough, we've actually discussed that quite a bit on the podcast, is how important it is to actually have the passion for your product.
Definitely.
Now, you actually created your product, which is something I think we haven't had before, in the essence of you actually built this with your own hands. So I'm sure that passion for this product must just be over the moon.
Yeah, and more the passion for the product, the passion to know that what you are doing is impacting real lives. It's impacting children in a way where they would not have had a surface to write on at home, to do their homework or to do their schoolwork. And to know what I'm doing is bigger than just entrepreneurship. It's, in the social entrepreneurship space, to know that I'm creating real impact and making a real difference. And I think that's what actually pushes me through the hard days, through the difficult days. And you have a lot of that. I mean, in anyone's career, in anyone's journey. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of long hours. But knowing that a child's life is going to be impacted at the end of the day is the ultimate for us. And it's so great to work with my parents who also have that mindset. So we're all very aligned with how we approach any task, any difficulty, any obstacle. we know that, at the end of the day, a child's life will be changed because of this. And that's how we handled it, and that's how we actually introduce anyone into the company, is that it's not the number of desks that are out there, it's the number of children's lives that you're impacting. Yeah.
No, I think that's brilliant. And a lot of times, as you mentioned, we spoke about passion for the project, but passion for the cause equally is important.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a beautiful cause, as we mentioned, really transforming kids' lives. I don't think there's anything better that we can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well done to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I can imagine on this journey, there must have been some challenges along the way, right? Talk us through some of those challenges in, being a part of this company, launching this product, and how were you able to push through or overcome those challenges?
So there's been an insane amount of challenges along the journey.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, as with anyone that's trying to start something new, as with anyone in entrepreneurship, the biggest challenge for us was getting it off the ground, firstly, and getting it to the children. It was a very difficult task where my parents did have to bootstrap to get it to where it is. And so we have recently been supported by the Department of Science and Innovation and the Technology Innovation Agency to ramp up our production by 21 times, which we're very, very excited about, because we've set this goal to reach 1 million kids by 2030. So we've ramped up our production in order to reach that goal. Our biggest challenge is actually finding sponsors for the MiDesk, because the children cannot afford it, neither can their families or their communities. We look for corporates, philanthropists, or organizations to sponsor the MiDesk to these kids for free, and what we do is we manufacture it in their colors with their branding for transparency purposes. When in the space when a lot of people invest in charity, in donations, they do want to see the direct impact that they're having. And in this way, with it being in their colors, with their logo sometimes on it, it does add the transparency aspect, and it's very appealing to a donor, especially donors from around the world, where they can directly trace back who they've given the MiDesk to, which schools, and whose lives it has changed. And it is obviously in their colors, so it's unmistakably the difference that they're making in those communities. And so that's a great difficulty. I think it's our biggest challenge, to gain these donors and gain these organizations to come on board. We have reached 5,300 kids so far, and we've worked with over 26 sponsors in over 64 schools. But with a goal of 1 million, we've ramped up our production, and we're really working very ferociously towards reaching those 1 million kids around the world.
And for those watching that are interested in getting involved in terms of sponsorship or getting involved, with regards to being a part of this wonderful product, how can they go about doing that?
So they can actually access us via our website or all our social media. We're at MiDesk Global everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're very easily accessible. And then via our website, mideskglobal.com, our contact details are there. We work 24/7, so we will get back to you if you're interested.
Oh, lovely. What message would you like people to take away from this interview today?
I think the message that I'd like people to take away is a message I often give the kids that I interact with through MiDesk Global, is that all I did was my homework. And imagine if you do your homework too. And the message behind that is just whatever you're doing, whether it's an accountant, an entrepreneur, a doctor, whatever career you're in, or whatever it is that you're doing, if you're studying, whatever it is, just give it your absolute best shot, because you never know what could come of it. When I look back at myself when I was 16, all I did was my homework, all I did was give it my best shot, and I would have never imagined this would be my life. And I would get to impact kids through it. I would get to be on a podcast like this. I would have never dreamt. And I know that with the MiDesk, we're going to exceed the 1 million kids, and we're going to reach heights beyond my wildest dreams. And it's all because I did my homework. So
I love that. That's so brilliant. What a great message to put out to kids there. But I think you hit the nail on the head there, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. And I mean, I'm very guilty of this. Sometimes we just need to get things done for the sake of getting them done.
Yeah.
And we tend to then lose that little bit of pride in it,
Yeah.
And I think that just shows how important that is because if you had looked at that as okay, I got to really just get this project out, and I don't want to do this, but it's part of the curriculum, and I need to get my marks.
Yeah.
MiDesk might have not existed.
Exactly.
So it's that little bit of extra pride that you take in that can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't need to have the end goal. You just have to have, you have to have good intentions and giving it your absolute best shot, and you just never know what could happen.
No, I love that. Completely agree. So we have a bit of a tradition on this podcast where the previous guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing who the next guest is or what did they do, right?
Okay.
So the question that's been left for you is, what is one lesson that took you the longest to learn?
That is a very good question to the person before this podcast. The one lesson for me personally is to trust the process. I am normally someone who likes to be in control and who likes to have everything planned to the T, like for the next 10 years. But I have learned that I just need to trust the process and actually just give it my best shot. And with good intentions, with tenacity, with being consistent, it does fall into place and things do work out, and you actually grow to a place that you would have never imagined, but it's a bigger and better place than you in your head would have planned. So yeah.
Brilliant. No, I love that. Talita, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this interview. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Firstly, meeting you and learning about this product. I think it's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I think what you guys are doing is brilliant, and I mean, you can already see the amount of lives that you guys have changed. So, I mean, I wish you all the best, and I got to say, I'm very, very excited to see where this thing goes, and you guys hit that 1 million desks.
Yes,
I can't wait to see
definitely. Thank you. Hopefully before 2030. So
No, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been such an honor.
No, pleasure is all ours.
Thanks.
All right, that's our show. What a wonderful episode and such an inspiring journey with Talita and her family. But I think she hit the nail right on the head when she said it simply. Let's just do our homework and do it with pride. My name is Ebrahim Tayob. You're watching Chat EbT. Until next time.